All right, so here we are today in the Mud Pit Garage, and we're starting to put the corners and the sides and all up here on the sides of this trailer. I got some inch by inch by 1/8 inch angle iron. We are bolting them in down here. Okay, and the reason I'm doing that instead of welding is that if the need comes, I like to be able to take these things off, because it makes for a really nice flatbed trailer, you know. So I've got 4 corners here right now, and we're going to put another one in the middle on each side. So as you can see, what we're going to do is we're going to use some 1x4 material, some wood. Not making these things super tough, you know, climb on them kind of rails, although they'll be plenty sturdy. I just want this to be so that you can put things in there and they won't just fly out, or you can just tie them down. Okay. Alright guys, so we got them bolted in. Now what we got to do next is put holes here, holes on the side here. I think I'm going to get these squared up first and put the front boards across, at least one at the top, get things spaced out properly, and then we'll run these top ones down here. And I think we're going to have 3. We'll have 1, 2, 3 boards. Okay. All right, guys. We're getting near the home stretch. Get this darn thing done. All right, everybody. Let's get to work. Okay, we got this one side fitted up. As you can see, cut down, cut the stanchions down to about 20 inches, so they'll be easy to reach over and grab things, but still high enough to keep things in the trailer. So there you go. Just using these 1x4s, you know. No big deal. They're they make things really sturdy. Now, you can see these boards are going to come to the inside of here when I finish getting things fit up. Alright, as you can tell, I'm going to have to cut bolts, you know, off. You notice right here I notched this, you know, so that this 1x4 is going to fit right in there. So that's going to be good. We're going to have to do the same thing right here. Then we're going to do it for that side. But all in all, these boards are going to be painted. When they get fitted back on, they'll be on the inside of the channel, or excuse me, the angle. These will get cut down. So we still got to put the front and the side. We'll leave the back for later. Gunny, what you think? What's it look like? Gunny dog's not impressed. Alright. So let's keep at it. We're making good progress. Stay tuned. Okay, when you cut out those middle pieces, that's what it looks like. Right? Then, if you come over to this side, now you see how it fits. All right, let's get the other side done. All right, we got all of our rails put on. It's kind of what it looks like. Lots of bolts to grind off. And we got to get back and actually paint this thing from front to back. The frame's painted pretty good, but some spots to redo. Still, that's it, guys. Really nothing else. Maybe I need to put something in the middle there. I don't know. Probably. We'll worry about that later. Alright, guys. This is it, man. This is what it looks like. Now it's just back down to ticky-tack stuff, taking it apart, painting it, sizing these bolts. Probably having to replace some of these things. Some of these bolts, they were just little carriage bolts, and they didn't last too long, man. I cranked down on them a little bit, and the threads would just strip right off of some of these bolts. So, not sure how I got such low-grade bolts, but gonna have to replace some of them. Anyway, this is basically it. Getting closer to being done all the time. Okay, we're getting near the end of this thing, and I'm going to put this trailer lift, this wheel on the front. Okay, so I don't have bolts long enough for this. I couldn't reuse the ones that were there. They were really, really rusty. They were rusted up, had to cut them off. So, I'm going to put this here like it belongs, but I've got some all thread. And I'm going to take this all thread, and I've got just enough nuts to use, but, you know, all thread's not a bolt. So, since I don't have enough nuts of the right size, I'm going to take some nuts that are the wrong size, and after I cut the all thread down where it will fit where we need it, across like that, then put these here. I'm going to take this all thread, I'm going to look at my junk drawer, find some other nuts that are bigger. I'll put them on the end here, and I'll tack weld them. I say tack weld, I'm really going to hot weld them on. That's going to make a bolt. So I'm going to manufacture some bolts, and that'll get this thing done, because this trailer seems like a never-ending project. It's just one thing after another, and one trip to Lowe's after another for bolts. So let's see if we can't manufacture ourselves some bolts, and we'll cut some more of this all thread about this long, and I'll go look into in the drawer, find some old nuts, and we'll manufacture the bolts that we need. Okay, so what we got to do here is we're going to weld this nut onto this all thread, okay? So what I did was I took one of the nuts that actually fits it, and I put it on first, and then I laid this one on top of it, okay? All right, and so that's going to allow me to get it just where I want to. Now, I could countersink this thing a little bit, like that, and try to get the weld in. That's what I'm going to do. We'll put it here on my table and ground it, and I can't find any 332 rods, so I'm going to have to go to 1/8. Let's see if we can get this to work. Okay, I got a hole that's already drilled in here from some other jig I've had previously attached to this table. So I'll allow that to go down. And let's see if we can get this thing done. So there's not a whole lot you can do to it other than just try to zip some weld there onto it. It gets hot real fast, and any of the zinc or anything else that's on this nut can be a real pain in the tail to weld. So it's going to take a second to cool off, but I think it was okay. Let's see if I can zoom in on it a little bit. Yeah. And the other thing too is you're trying not to spike your threads with spatter. So it's kind of a tedious little thing. I could have broke out my TIG machine and did it, but I'm kind of in a hurry. So let's see. Okay, so we got our trailer stand there. It's on. We BS'd some bolts together. They should be fine. I don't expect trouble out of them. Okay. Everything else just like normal. Washers, nuts. So I'm going to, I'll be trimming off some of this, but I've already got some of these to trim off from over here, and honestly basically down to the floorboards, and this thing is going to be called done. Okay, so on this old trailer I built a long time ago, I put these little rings on the side, right? And those things have been tremendous over the years. They are there all the time. They're sturdy, and you can hook your ratchet straps into them, you know, and it's just so much easier. So I put one there, and I put one over there. Didn't do any on the back, okay, but on the opposite side, you got one there, you got one there. I even put a couple up in the front. Okay, so we're going to do a very similar thing. We're going to use some little round stock like that, kind of like this. It's a little bit thinner for those. And we're going to use this little portable bender here. You know, I just attached it to this old trailer because I don't need it very often, and I don't have a table that's heavy enough for it, right? So we're just going to make some basically about the same size. We're going to take a die like this, you know, it's about the same size, and we're going to make some of these things, okay? It shouldn't be too hard. We'll see how perfect I get them. But as long as they're kind of bent like that, you could get your ratchet straps in them, or just a rope, anything to tie down. Man, these things are so nice to have. So we're going to make a few, 2, 4, 6. We'll make 6 and put on this other trailer we're building over here too. And that'll be fantastic. They're just really nice to have. All right, let's get to it. And our 5x8 utility trailer from an 18-foot boat trailer is complete. Basically, this is all I'm going to do with it right now. Could use fenders, but at this point, it's time to call this thing done and put it to use. Let's see how it does. You know, let's try to shake it out some. I've got a few things I need to carry around, haul around, and we're going to have to put it to some use here. So just think about it, you know, in this same place, I don't know, 6 weeks ago. It's been a while because I worked on it here and there. There was that old raggedy boat trailer, and now you got a nice, pretty useful 5x8 trailer. You know, we reused that tongue. We reused the lights. We reused that stand, that jack stand on there. We used basically as much of the frame as we could to box things in. All right. We've got our little tie-down clips on the sides, on the front. We reused the axle and the wheels. Could use some new tires. But we won't be using this thing to haul things quite as heavy as that boat was. Same lights, we use those. That's what it looks like from the back. So we got 3/8 wood in the bottom, in the back here. It should be thicker, but it's what I had, and lumber has gone sky high. So I used some of what I had. We used carriage bolts in the bottom on this decking. That way things won't hit them and get stuck. They should just bounce over for the most part. We got removable sides, but they're bolted on. They're good and sturdy. We just use some 1x4s, and that'll be good enough to keep things from just flying out the sides. So all in all, it was a pretty good project. I gotta say, probably the worst part about this thing was that this frame had been hot dipped, like all boat trailers, in a galvanized paint, and even if you ground it off, it was still in the pores of the steel. Made it really, really hard to weld, caused me a lot of trouble, but we got it done. And so this is it, guys. This is the end of this project. Thank goodness it's done. It's out of my garage. It's time to get on the next thing now, which is probably going to be rebuilding the engine on this Kia that blew, and see if we can get that thing back to going. All right, guys, that's it for today. Pops out.